Okay, this is a Tartan 30, 1972, and we're on the deck with as you can see, there's a furling jib. It's an Arcan system, which is really good. There is a spinnaker pole, and I have covers for about all the wood that there is on the deck as an anchor, and the chain inside the locker chain, and also some bags for the lines and the sheets of the jib. As you can see, the boat is fairly clean. It's been repainted recently, and doesn't need much care about. There's a cover for the main as well. The rigging is very simple and probably has another 2 or 3 years to go before being replaced, the standing rigging that is. All the running rigging have been replaced already. I have a cover of the Dodger, and in the cockpit I have covers also for the winches and the benches that are there. There's a swimming ladder in the back and more bags to put the lines and the sheets. There's a cover to also close the Dodger in case the birds decide to do some nesting inside. And as we get aboard, I'll show you the 2 lazarettes that are in the back of the cockpit. One actually holds the engine control, and the other one is for storage. Is an extra anchor and the bilge pump that is here ready to be used, and the control for the engine. It's an Atomic 4, good condition, and this is the Dodger cover in the cockpit. A new tiller that is nice and clean, and I'm going to remove all the covers so you can see better. And there is the Tartan 30 again without the Dodger cover. There's new Lexan on the Dodger cover on the Dodger, and new windows, and also solar panels, 100 watts that recharge to new fancy batteries that are on board, 12 volts. There's a big inverter as well that allows you to run coffee machine, heaters, just about anything. It's a big inverter. And so there's the tiller and the companionway and the view with the Dodger cover removed from the cockpit. This is pretty much the view you get when you sail, which is nice for the bay. This Dodger really protects from the spray. And again, the simple rigging. The depth sounder, little wind indicator that needs to be probably checked, as it's not very accurate. I think it needs to be calibrated. And the speedometer that is nice, it's a GPS. Here are the winches for the main halyard and the reef that is back to the cockpit, and this is the halyard for the jib. So let's go inside. Inside I made a smaller table in order to accommodate more room in the galley, because the original one is stored here underneath, and it's really nice and can fit more people to eat, and also has 2 small rod that goes underneath and allows this to become a double berth. So this is fairly big actually already, but when you put that table there, you get a really huge double bed. So there's a quarter berth on the port side here with some cushions for the outside that are in good condition. There's an automatic pilot, a table that goes in the cockpit, tools and chargers here for 12 volts, and lots of safety thing like flares and fire extinguishers. And on starboard there is a chart table that you can pull here that allows you to put all your charts, and VHF radio that is fairly new that has AIS, and will tell you when you have a collision possible with another ship out there. And I have a transponder in the back that allows people to see where my boat is with the AIS as well. So this is the quarter berth with a lee cloth, and there's storage here on both sides. I actually have a sextant and some binoculars and some Bose speakers for the new sound system that I put on the boat. And there's here a bell for the fog and the shift, and actually there's also a system on the VHF that allows you to program the alarm through the VHF for the other boats in case of fog. I have the winch handles here for the outside, which extra ones in the store. There's the water tank here on port side that has been completely fixed and updated with two access holes in order to be able to access the bottom in case it needs to be cleaned, and also to view how much you have left. Here there is the engine, which is very accessible. That's the engine, which is the atomic 4, and you can remove that whole thing here and makes it very accessible. And behind it there's two batteries that are actually very good quality ones that I bought like maybe 3 years ago, and they were like almost $500 each. So I believe they're, and I hope they're good quality. So far they've been working very well for me and keeping the charge. This is the solar panel controller that tells you how much you're generating electricity in order to keep your battery charged. And here I'm going to show you there is actually I got to remove this and that, but there's that big inverter that I was referring to earlier that allows me to run my espresso machine, my toaster, and a little kettle, electric kettle that I have. Here there's a big used to be a big ice box, which is still an ice box, with a little pump faucet to empty the melted ice, the water, but it fits exactly perfect that little 12 volts refrigerator that's also black that fits in there. So I've been enjoying that. There's a lot of storage in the galley behind this, and also underneath there, and a drawer for the silverware and the knives and so forth. Here for the plates. There's a lot of storage everywhere, which is great. This is the access for the one of the panels here, and also that's the electrical panel on the other side. As I was mentioning, the batteries are underneath here. So this is it for that. And the mast is stepped on the keel, which is nice. And here I have some thermometer, clock, and barometer. There is a gauge for the gasoline tank. As you see, that doesn't have to stay on, so you can check it right here. Didn't have one before, but I changed the tank that's underneath here. I had it built to specification in order to fix it, because the old one was slightly leaking. Here there is more storage for the life jacket. More storage. Is aeration from the door right outside, which has been really nice and gives a lot of aeration to the boat. Have the boat hook here, and on the other side here you have the head that is just simple cold water and a sink, and it's been also very well, and it's fairly new. I replaced it when I purchased the boat. And here in the V-berth you have a lot of storage underneath, with a shift here, switches for the valves for the waste tank that's underneath there. I added this porthole here in order to see from the inside what's going on. And there's a little solar ventilator that works really well, and the hatches that open over here. There's that storage there. There's the anchor chain locker on front, and the lights are all working. I have also an extra cover, a bimini that goes over the cockpit when you're in the marina, and a horseshoe. I have a Jenniker that's new and has a sock. It's very easy to put it up and down. And also have a spinnaker that's even newer. I think it never got used. I've never used it, and I think the person before never used it either. So I have those little heaters from West Marine, and this is it for most of the inside, I guess. There's always more to say, but it covers some of it.